The defending MAC champs protect their home court tonight. Central Michigan 12-3, 3-0 in the conference. Take on the Miami Redhawks 10-4 and 1-2 in the MAC. Welcome inside McGurk Arena. Adam Jackson alongside Matt DeVries on ESPN. These Chippewas have been really good the last 2 years. Two-time defending MAC regular champions, and they're off to a 3-0 start again this season.
Absolutely the start that a head coach in Sue Guevara wants to see from her group, trying to get back to the NCAA tournament like they did last year, and starting off conference play the way you want to, with some wins and starting 3-0. And you've got a couple outstanding performers that we're going to talk a lot about tonight in Raina Frost, Presley Hudson, and that whole starting five for the Chippewas. Anybody can beat you on any given night, and I think that's what can make them so tough.
Here's the starting five for the Redhawks. A team that's just 1-2, but a ton of experience back from last year. The Redhawks with 4 seniors. They're led by their junior, though, Lauren Dickerson. Matt, over 14 points per game. She can find the basket.
Yeah, I really need to key in on her. Had 5 points, but 10 dimes against Buffalo last time out. And for Central Michigan, you've got the starting five. They're well documented. Michaela Kelly, an outstanding addition to this program. A season ago, inserted into the starting lineup. Jahari Smith, some ups and downs in her freshman campaign so far, but says a lot about 25 in white for Sue Guevara that she has her out there in the starting five in her first year on campus.
Chippewas are led by the 2 seniors, Hudson and Frost, 2 of the top 4 scorers in the Mid-American Conference. Thanks for joining us for midweek action between Central Michigan and Miami. Your officials tonight, Jeff Cross, Brad Dustermars, and Megan Joseph, the officials for this evening's game, as we're just about set to get going in Mount Pleasant. Savannah Kleesner and the freshman Jahari Smith will get us underway in Mount Pleasant. Chippewas control the tip, and they'll have the first offensive possession. There's Raina Frost, who has been so good for Central Michigan over the last few games, averaging a double-double coming in. Hudson free off the screen, and the rebound comes down to Kendall McCoy. There's a knockaway, goes to Purvis, and then it's stripped again. Hudson comes up with it. Chippewas want to get out in transition. 3 for Kelly. Chippewas in front.
The team defense is rewarded at the other end. You have Jahari Smith with a nice denial in the post, and then a steal that leads to a quick run out. It doesn't go on the first try, but Raina Frost, what she does so well, the offensive rebound and the kick out to Michaela Kelly.
Well, Miami wants to play this game in the 50s or 60s and slow it down. The Chippewas under Sue Guevara, they want to push the basketball tonight. That comes off from McCoy. And not just tonight, something Central Michigan likes to do every night. Get up and down the floor. Hudson ducks in. Fight for the loose ball comes down to Savannah Kleesner. McCoy, nice looking shot over Kelly.
That's such a luxury, Adam, to have Kleesner at 6'2", to be able to be a bit of a distributor at the top. She's trailing in transition right there, so she gets a touch outside the three-point line, and she's able to feed the other big down low on the near block. That's a nice little 2-man game right there.
One of those members of the 2-man game, Savannah Kleesner, picking up her first. First team foul on the Redhawks. Frost looking one-on-one against McCoy, trying to attack. Good defense, and then a turnover. So a nice job by Miami. Again, they are the MAC's best defensive team, allowing just over 58 points per game to their opponent. And so far, they've done a nice job here defensively for the first 2 minutes.
Well, and if anyone's going to be able to hold Central Michigan to that magic number of whatever you want to call it, Adam, maybe 65 points. If you can keep that game in the 60s, this is the group that's going to be able to do it. But a tall task going up against maybe the MAC's best foe, you know, in the Central Michigan Chippewas.
Nice pass. Dickerson shoveled it. Couldn't get hit from Kleesner, but an offensive rebound. Purvis. Every bounce you could imagine off the rim, and there's the first three for the Redhawks.
Got to get some of those lucky bounces when you're on the road. Got that one to go, and need a few more of those to go your way tonight.
So it's the first lead for Miami. 7 minutes to go in this first quarter. Jahari Smith taking contact. Redhawks out the other way. Their leading scorer with it now. Sends it back to Kendall McCoy, who can step outside. Her 28th three of the season.
Presley Hudson trying to calm the troops down right now. Everything's falling for Miami.
Kendall McCoy with 5 of the first 8 for the Redhawks. Deep three for Kelly. Chased down by Raina Frost. Frost looking to go one-on-one. Instead takes the jumper.
Thought she was going to shoot that first time, but still after a little pump fake and a fake using that right jab step, launches from 17 feet and knocks it down.
Knocked away by Kelly. Another turnover for Miami. No look to Smith. Good defense from Kleesner. And it'll stay with Central Michigan as it goes out of bounds.
Now for Jahari Smith, I don't know if she needs to force that. That was a nice pass by Presley Hudson, but it was also really good defense by Miami. I don't think they need to force that.
Jahari Smith getting into the offensive action last game. 18 points, 7 rebounds as well at NIU. Played one of her best games. Hudson misfires on the long triple try. The Chippewas have started cold to begin this game. Miami coming off a loss to Buffalo at home, a 66-59 game on Saturday. Dickerson a little short on the three. Maddie Waters slices through the lane. Left it short, rebound Kleesner. So again, the offensive struggles continue for Central Michigan. And right now, this is exactly what you want if you're a Red Hawk.
And I've been surprised. Miami has gone early in the shot clock a little bit on the offensive end. You'd expect them to try and milk it down, but when you're feeling it, you're feeling it.
Kendall McCoy has 8 points already for the Redhawks, and that's her second three.
Dream start for Miami here on the road.
They're up 6 against the defending MAC champs. And let's not forget, Miami took the Chippewas right to the end in the semifinals of the MAC tournament last year. A 3-point win for Central Michigan. It's the Redhawks under second-year head coach Megan Duffy that are up early in Mount Pleasant. Terrific start for the Red Hawks, in front by 6. Just under 5 minutes to play in this first quarter. Central Michigan out of the first immediate timeout. Chippewas struggling offensively, just 2 for 8 from the field and 1 for 5 from downtown. See who they look to try and get going. Kelly splitting the double team. Waters hoists for 3. Maddie Waters with her 31st triple of the season.
And that started with Michaela Kelly. She split a double team on the perimeter, found Kira Bussell near the free throw line, but then it was Bussell who then feeded Maddie Waters. Confident shot, catch and shoot. Maybe that'll get them going.
She's a different player this year, Maddie Waters. Leah Purvis, a nice looking stroke, has her second triple of the night. Miami has come out firing from the outside, and they're knocking them down. Now 4 for 6. Bussell open for 3. Offensive rebound, Kelly. And the Chippewas look to set it up. Nothing going offensively for CMU. Off the screen, it's Hudson. Throws it up. Bussell with the offensive rebound and put back.
You mentioned Maddie Waters is a different player this year. Kira Bussell seeing a lot more of the floor in her sophomore campaign out of Grand Rapids, and I really like her game, Adam. I think she's developed nicely, and she's playing her way into the rotation and going to have a large role for the final 2 years in this program.
And the sophomore from Grand Rapids with 5 games in double-figure scoring this season. That 3 off from Miami, a rare miss, just their 3rd. Still in front by 4. Hudson is yet to get going, the second leading scorer in the MAC. And we've got a foul defensively called against the Red Hawks. That'll go against the freshman Kennedy Taylor. Subs coming back in for the Red Hawks. Savannah Kleesner. Abby Hoff checks in for the first time as well, the junior out of St. Peters, Missouri. Central Michigan has started this game shooting just under 30% from the field. And now here's a turnover, second given up by the Chippewas. And a foul in the backcourt called against CMU. They're going to give it to Michaela Kelly. That's the first on the redshirt sophomore.
Not a good foul for Michaela Kelly. Maybe a frustration foul. Things haven't gone exactly according to plan. You see Presley Hudson right there trying to stop her in the backcourt. Then Michaela Kelly just a little too aggressive.
This is the junior Lauren Dickerson. To the corner, Kleesner gets around and beats Frost. First 2 points for the junior from St. Charles, Missouri, and another turnover by Hudson. Dickerson looking to push. Only 5'3", but she is crafty with the basketball. And she's one of the best rebounders on this Miami team. She'll hoist for 3. Rebound to Frost.
You see that confidence. They're oozing with it right now, the Red Hawks. Everyone feels like they can knock it down.
Tough shot for Kelly, falls. She
like
wasn't
the penetration.
satisfied.
I like that, yeah.
Wanted the and one. Near turnover, Taylor holds on to it. They go to Kleesner, and another nice looking post move.
It's too easy for the bigs right now underneath for Miami. They've done a good job of getting in positive positions near the rim, and then their teammates have done an equally good job of getting them the ball in space and allowing them to attack.
And you mentioned the 2 down low that make them go, as there's a foul against Abby Hoff. Savannah Kleesner at 6'2", and Kendall McCoy, who you've seen at 6 foot, can step outside as well as go inside, but both players averaging over 13 points per game, and they can cause some destruction inside, which is something the Chippewas haven't seen a ton of too good bigs inside this season.
Well, and you've got Kleeser and McCoy combining for 26 points per game and nearly 13 rebounds. I mean, that is great production from two of your starting five. And if you can rely on that type of production and get it night after night, you know, that's exactly what you want. You know, 12 and 20 for each of them last time out against Buffalo, and they're doing it again here today.
Yeah, both returning starters. McCoy, All-MAC honorable mention last season. And the Red Hawks had a great year under first-year head coach Megan Duffy, now in her second season. Took the Chippewas to the wire in the MAC semifinals. That's an offensive foul on Hudson, as it looked like her first basket was about to go in, but we go back the other way.
A nice sell job, but the arm did extend as well. So I think there's a little bit of both right there. You've got Kennedy Taylor, who's trying to get back in transition, and Presley Hudson's maybe not fully extending to the length that she can, but she's just trying to get a little extra space to operate, and probably she gets away with that sometimes, which is probably why you see her a little disappointed with the call right there.
Well, these defenders tonight for the Red Hawks going to challenge the Chippewas. You're going to see mostly man-to-man all night. But they are physical, get right up on you and defend. Tough drive and a charge. Nope, they'll get a block on Kira Bussell.
And those are the positive things that can happen, Adam, when you attack the rim. You're stretching a defense and you're putting them in unfamiliar positions. And you see right here, that's a strong take. And Kira Bussell does get to her spot, and from what we can see, she's outside the half circle. So it looks like the Red Hawks catch a break.
This is Alexis Straw who misses the first free throw. That's the third team foul on Central Michigan. So we're under a half minute left to go in this first quarter. Straw splits the pair. Central Michigan led 3-0, but since then it's been the Red Hawks controlling the tempo of the first 10 minutes. Chippewas can hold for the final shot of this opening quarter. Callie to Frost. Drops it through. And the heave at the end of the quarter comes up wide. And that's how the first 10 minutes go into the books. Red Hawks looking good on the road. Hit 4 triples, and they'll take a 3-point lead into the second frame. Getting ready to start the second quarter. Inside that huddle, the longest tenured coach in the Mid-American Conference, Sue Guevara. What an army she has built up here in Mount Pleasant as the Chippewas have won back-to-back MAC regular season titles. They won the tournament championship last year. Coach Guevara, the all-time winningest at Central Michigan, led them to the Sweet 16 last year. And Megan Duffy, she's here in her second season, played at Notre Dame, 31-15, and had the best turnaround in women's college basketball last year, leading the Redhawks to a 21-11 season and taking them to the MAC tournament semifinals for the first time since 2008. And nearly able to knock out the eventual champion, Central Michigan, going to the brink, having an opportunity to tie on a three late, but it rimmed off. Chippewas held on 61-58.
It's amazing what she's done in her first really year and a half now in leading the Red Hawk program. And it's so hard as a new coach to try and jump in right away and institute your style and your culture. But she's able to do it with flying colors, and she's been able to look from afar at someone who's done it the best in Sue Guevara now in her 12th season.
So many good coaches in this conference. And Megan Duffy just adds to the depth. Nice entry pass, and Frost goes off glass.
So Miami came out at him in the first quarter and did exactly what they wanted to do. Limited the opportunities for CMU on the offensive side and executed well. And now Central Michigan has had a chance to see you live for 10 minutes. How do you react in the final 10 minutes of the first half? Got to try and maintain this heading into the locker room.
Frost has the last 6 for Central Michigan, off of Presley Hudson last. And the Redhawks led by as many as 6, but Central Michigan has obviously cut that deficit to 1. 8:42 to play in this second quarter. Miami coming in and trying to pull a huge upset, give the Chippewas their first conference loss of the season.
Shot clock didn't reset, so got to go quick once it's in.
Coming up on 5 for Leah Purvis. She's knocked down 2 threes. Kicks to Dickerson. High arcing 3 rolls off to Bustle.
Pretty good look with the shot clock winding down. Contested 3 in the corner, but looked good off the hand.
Look at the handles from Kelly. Out to Waters. And the rebound down to Taylor. Central Michigan loves to shoot the 3, averaging 10 makes per game. Shooting top 5 in the country from the outside at over 41%. Offensive rebound, back up and through for Kleesner.
She's tough to box out at 6'2", and when you're running Raina Frost in there at 6 feet tall, Kira Bustle gives you a little more height at 6'1", but Kleesner seems really long and tough to try and box out and rebound against.
First thing Sue Guevara mentioned to her team in shoot-around today, the amount of offensive rebounds that Miami gets as Frost nails another.
It's just got to be so frustrating for any head coach when you take a look at the box score after a game and you see you've given up 10, 11, 12 offensive rebounds. Think about the extra possessions you're giving your opponent.
Reverse layup, no good from Dickerson. Raina Frost has the last 8 points for the Chippewas, and she already has 10 for the game. Frost coming in, 9 straight double-doubles. She has been on a tear for CMU. She'll attack again. Waters whips it to Frost. Short on the jumper, rebound McCoy.
Unbelievable pass from Maddie Waters.
One of the best passers the Chippewas had. They said that about her last year as a true freshman. The drive from Kleesner, reverses up and through. 8 early points for the junior from St. Charles, Missouri. Coming off a 12-point, 14-rebound performance against the Bulls on Saturday at Millett Hall. Keeping the Redhawks in front. That was tipped away by Taylor. Shot clock under 10. Weaving down the lane, Kelly. So slippery, so smooth. Michaela Kelly.
Good off the bounce. An ever-evolving, developing jump shot and becoming more consistent from the outside. She's turning into a really nice heir apparent to Presley Hudson.
So athletic, and she can get up and down the floor extremely quickly. They go back to Kleesner, driving on Bustle off glass. 10 points for Savannah Kleesner.
And for every response Central Michigan has had, Miami has been right there to answer yet again. It's the mark of a good program.
An air ball from Waters. And Miami again can extend this lead. They've controlled the tempo since we got underway right around 7 o'clock. Lead by as large as 6 after the Chippewas took an early 3-0 advantage. Purvis can't get her third triple make. Presley Hudson not able to get going yet. We'll see if she tries to get something here. Instead, turns it over again. Presley Hudson now has coughed it up 4 times for the first 15 minutes of this game.
You see this from Presley Hudson once in a while. You know, she's averaging 22 points a game, so she's obviously a scorer. She knows how to get it done. And I think sometimes when she doesn't get involved early, she starts to press and she starts to force it and she tries to look for her shot. And she feels like, if I don't get going soon, I'm going to be cold in the second half and I'm not going to be able to get going. And she just needs to kind of sometimes take a back seat. There's more weapons on this roster than maybe there has ever been.
One of those weapons, Raina Frost. She has 10 points, looking for more. Nearly a steal. It'll stay with Central Michigan. 4:50 to play, second quarter. The Redhawks hanging tough. They have the control and the lead halfway through the second quarter. Take a look at the series history between Central Michigan and Miami, all knotted at 31. The 63rd meeting tonight. However, the last 9 have gone to Central Michigan. The Chippewas, again, winning that game most recently last year in the MAC tournament semifinals, 61-58. Redhawks trying to snap that skid. So far, they've looked good, Matt, in front by 3 with about 5 minutes to go in the second. One
of the best in the country at defending the 3 against Central Michigan, who's tops in the conference in shooting the 3 ball. Who's going to blink? So far, 2 for 9 from 3 for Central Michigan. They're used to better numbers than that.
Trying to just get a shot up here. It is a 3, rushed by Frost. Miami, you called it. They are one of the best. Opponents shooting just 21% against them from beyond the arc. Central Michigan right there. 21% tonight so far, 2 for 10. To the corner. And a nice looking jumper that goes for Abby Hoff. They say just a 2 for the junior.
They just look so confident, don't they? That almost is a travel on Presley Hudson.
Set a spinning pass to Kelly. Another miss from 3. Look at the hustle down low, but the Chippewas hang on to it.
Just don't look intimidated at all. And you and I were kind of talking during one of the breaks as Jahari Smith gets it to go at him. Feels a little light in here right now. Not a whole lot of energy in the building. Not a bit of a slower start from CMU tonight, and the crowd needs something to kind of get them going, get them energized.
Flat. Definitely feels flat, and that's a credit to the way Miami has played, taking the crowd out of it. Look at the hustle from the Redhawks. 3 Miami players sprawling on the floor. Maddie Waters tying it up as well. It'll go back to Central Michigan on the possession.
Also, from a neutral perspective, I know you're not going to complain, and neither am I. Not a whole lot of fouls being called. This thing is flying. We're going up and down. First half is buzzing along, and Miami seems to have the answers. They're still searching on the Chippewa side. You look at that bench, a lot of long faces. They're trying to figure out what the sauce is to try and break down this Miami defense.
One of those players frustrated. Presley Hudson held scoreless. Frost trying to find space. Kendall McCoy getting a little bit too close, picks up her first. It's the second on the Redhawks. 3:06 to play, first half.
I'll take the blame for that one. I think now we'll probably get, both into the bonus under 3 minutes to go. I
mean,
we'll
we'll see a stockpile of fouls coming up. Thanks,
Sorry.
Matt.
Yeah. Been a clean game so far, though.
Purvis hanging with Hudson, forces a tough fadeaway. Presley Hudson gets her first 2.
And that's what Presley Hudson has had to resort to. You know, step back 20-foot jumpers to try and get a look. Like you've said, that's a credit to the Red Hawk defense and what Megan Duffy has instituted here.
Levering gets it to stay down. Another senior on this team. Again, 4 at seed time for the Red Hawks. And it's back to a 29-26 lead.
Wow.
Nice dribble move out of the double from Frost.
It's a great slip by Raina Frost. A good feed from Michaela Kelly, and that's what it takes. You got to execute well. You got to recognize the double team coming. Yet again, a response and an answer.
3 threes for McCoy. And you said it, Matt. They have had that response throughout this first half.
Every time.
Off from Hudson. Rebound Frost. Raina's been the workhorse in this first half. 12 points. Falls off. Her moves have become so good around the basket. She's crisp and so difficult to defend.
Oh.
McCoy is feeling it. The senior says, I'm ready to come into McGurk and take down the top-ranked team in the conference. Kendall McCoy with 14 points. And the Redhawks have hit 5 threes and have a 7-point lead, their largest of the game.
That's a heat check. That's what everyone calls a heat check. You're just launching from a couple feet behind the three-point line. Look at the look of disbelief on head coach Sue Guevara's face. She is just looking at her team wondering, what are you guys thinking? You need to close out on these shooters. They're launching from way beyond the arc. And for the Redhawks, they're going in, so you might as well keep shooting them. Maybe their best half performance of the season for Miami right now. They cannot miss from the outside, and Central Michigan is being locked up defensively.
Well, Megan Duffy was extremely disappointed with her team's half-court offensive execution down the stretch against Buffalo on Saturday. They are executing to perfection in the half court in this first half. Kendall McCoy, coming off a season-high 20 points against Buffalo, already has 14. And we still have a minute and change to play in the first half. Largest lead for the Redhawks, who outside of a 3-0 Chippewa lead, have had the advantage the entire way. Frost has been the answer for CMU. Again, great footwork underneath. 14 for Raina Frost, keeping Central Michigan within range. They go into Kleesner. Tapped away by Frost. She's doing it on both ends. Under a minute to go. Hudson drops it through off glass.
And that's the type of attempt you were looking for Presley Hudson. A couple possessions ago, she launched way too early from three-point range. Wasn't a good attempt. There, she just takes what the defense gives her, penetrates in, a nice lay-in.
3-point Red Hawk lead, looking for the answer that they have had throughout this first half. Dickerson, still scoreless. Hudson wants to attack. And she's hit the deck. And we've got a jump ball. It looks like it'll go right back to Miami. That's 5 turnovers on Presley Hudson. Again, the Red Hawks have done a terrific job.
But you're dribbling right into a double team there. I mean, you're kind of asking to be tied up. And I think it might have been Maddie Waters on the right side of your screen that was just waiting in the wings wide open. Presley Hudson need to have that presence of mind and vision to find her.
You said it, maybe a little frustrated and forcing it a little bit. Under 10 in this first half, left to go. 5 seconds. Dickerson slices through, hits the elbow jumper for her first 2 points of the half. And Miami will take a 2-possession lead into the break in Mount Pleasant. How about that from Megan Duffy's squad? (37-32) Red Hawks. We've hit the break in Mount Pleasant. Dickerson getting the final basket. Back at the half in Mount Pleasant, 37-32. The Red Hawks leading the Chippewas. We're now joined by 28th-year head coach Tom Borelli of the Central Michigan Wrestling Squad. Thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome, Adam. Nice to be here.
Well, great to have you on as wrestling season is underway and you're in the heat of MAC battles coming up this weekend. The Chippewas 2-3 and 1-1 in the conference. You've got Missouri coming up along with SIUE, but let's look back first. Your thoughts on how the season has gone so far?
We're getting better. You know, we're young and trying to improve, but we've had some successes, but we've also learned a lot about what we need to do to get better and how we can be more competitive.
You've got such a young team this year. You graduated a few guys, had some transfers. How are you seeing the team grow up so far?
It's been a work in progress, but you know, you see real flashes of the ability to be very good, and then you see some instances where you can tell you're young. You know, so it's kind of hit and miss.
It's kind of learning as you go. Here's some highlights from the last home match against Old Dominion. They were able to get you in that one. That was about 2 weeks ago. What's been the focus in practice since that last duel heading into a big weekend?
Well, we spent a lot of time training real hard, just trying to be tougher. We felt like Old Dominion just was a little more gritty than we were and a little tougher than we were in certain situations. There were 3 weight classes where we lost two of those matches by 1 point and another match by 2 points, and they were all right at the end in the third period. And we felt like if we'd have been a little tougher and a little more gritty, then, you know, the dual meet would have went our way. Those 3 matches were the difference in the dual meet. So we worked on that a lot.
This was the biggest win of the night for your guys. Logan Parks, a guy that's been right on the cusp. You've mentioned it a couple of times. He takes on third-ranked Larry Early, who had only had a loss on the season, and Logan shuts him out. A dominant performance. How have you seen Logan improve in his time in Mount Pleasant?
He's improved tremendously. He was one of those guys that started as a freshman and really struggled as a freshman. I think he didn't win a match from December until the last dual meet of the year, his freshman year, and now he's one of the leaders of our team, and one of the, like you said, he beat a third-ranked guy in the country, and that guy beat the NCAA runner-up, you know, 2 weeks before that. So Logan's right there, and he's come a long ways.
All right, Tom Borelli in his 28th season. The Chippewas on the road at Missouri and SIUE. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, Adam.
All right, 37-32, Miami at the break. Stats coming up. Back inside McGurk Arena at the half, Miami controlling the tempo and the score. 37-32, Redhawks in front. Take a look at some of the stats from the first half. Matt, what stuck out to you through the first 20 minutes?
I mean, the defense of Miami, I think, has been what's been the biggest key for them to be leading by 5 right now. You take a look at the numbers. I mean, they're shooting a great percentage. The stats for Miami have been incredible because they're shooting above 55%. They're knocking down threes at a high clip. But they're also locking up maybe one of the best offenses in the conference in Central Michigan. They're closing out on perimeter shooters, and they're also kind of clogging up the middle as well, which is making life really difficult for them at both ends of the floor, really, because CMU loves to get out and run, and that helps their transition defense. So it's really just kind of been all Miami, and the Redhawks have been the biggest story against maybe the conference's best team.
How about Kleesner and McCoy combining for 24 points in that first half? 14 from McCoy, who's 4 for 4 from the outside. She hasn't missed. The Redhawks as a whole, 6 for 13 from 3. They're right at their average for a game with 6 makes from the outside. As for Central Michigan, Raina Frost doing it again offensively, keeping CMU within range with 14 points. But the rest of the Chippewas have been pretty quiet, especially Presley Hudson, second leading scorer in the MAC with just 4 points.
Yeah, she's been held down in scoring. She's also turned the ball over 4 times as well. 5 turnovers as a team for Central Michigan, and she's got the bulk of them. So she really needs to try and start playing within herself on the offensive end.
We're about 5 minutes away from getting the second half underway. Redhawks trying to come up with a huge upset in Mount Pleasant. Chippewas have won 4 straight and are undefeated in conference play. That on the line, though, with 20 minutes to go. 37-32 Redhawks at the break. A surprise through 20 minutes. Miami leading undefeated Central Michigan in back play, 37-32 at the break. Adam Jackson, Matt DeVries with you on ESPN. Matt, for the Chippewas to get back into this one and try and win in the second half, what needs to change?
They've got to be more patient on offense. I thought they were a little rushed in that first half, and Presley Hudson forced it a lot. I mean, she turned the ball over 5 times in the first half. Need to be patient. I want Kleesner and McCoy for Miami to touch the ball every single time down the floor. One of them needs to touch it because they've got 24 points combined in the first half. I think that would be the recipe for success for the Redhawks if they're going to hang on for the final 20 minutes and get maybe the biggest road win to start conference play early here in January.
Can Miami knock off the 2-time defending MAC regular season champs? We'll find out in the next 20 minutes. Stay with us. Second half coming up next. Just about ready to start the second half. 37-32 Redhawks outside of a 3-0 lead by Central Michigan. We're in front the entire way through the first 20 minutes of play. Just a reminder to get your Pick 4 mini plan for tickets, men's and women's. $20 general admission for men, $16 for women, on sale through early February. Matt, you have your tickets?
No.
They let you in here for free?
I do this for every home game. So.
Jeez, can't believe you're getting away with that.
Sorry.
Let's go 20 minutes here. Presley Hudson, quick chuck from 3. Just 4 points in that first half and 0 for 4 for the MAC's all-time 3-point scorer. Presley Hudson continues her struggles a couple seconds in.
Raina Frost, 13 in white if you're just tuning in. 14 points in the first half. Maybe got to get her some touches down low early. Got to make sure that hot hand maintains. But I'll tell you what, Kleesner's got the hot hand too.
How nice is that touch from Kleesner?
Savannah Kleesner, St. Charles, Missouri.
12 points tonight after she had 12 against Buffalo on Saturday. Near turnover. Saved by Waters. Dickerson knocks it away, and the hustle from Kleesner on the floor. A jump ball gives it to Miami. Well, the Redhawks coming out with fire in this second half. A 7-point lead. The largest it's been in this game, an opportunity to grow it.
And at times for Central Michigan's offense, you have 3 legitimate ball handlers on the floor, and it looks like none of them have any confidence with the ball right now. They're all being bottled up by Red Hawk defenders.
And give credit again, Miami doing that. The team that leads the MAC in points allowed, under 60 per game. Keeping the Chippewas right on that pace. 5 on the clock. Jumper. A little short. Nice box out from Presley Hudson. Allowed an easy board for Raina Frost. Frost, the leading scorer in that first half for CMU. Nice bounce across the lane to Smith.
The defense is going to key in on Frost when she's driving like that, expecting her to kind of have a floater or attack the rim, but a nice feed to find the freshman on the weak side.
Offensive rebound. Kleesner gets hit on the arm, and she'll go to the free throw line as Hudson got her. That's her second. Savannah Kleesner doing a nice job getting those offensive rebounds. Second in the MAC is Miami, averaging nearly 14 offensive rebounds per game. That's just their second tonight. Kleesner now with 13. Really has developed her game in her 3rd season, upped her scoring. 8.4 points per game last year. It was 5 points per game in her freshman season. And this year, up over 13 points per game. She's got 14 tonight. The freshman Smith, a little bit too long, collects her own miss. Another opportunity goes wide.
I think you get that with freshmen sometimes. They get tunnel vision when they get a touchdown low. They don't want to kick it back out because they don't think they're going to get the ball back on the possession, so they really want to try and attack the rim. And you got to have better awareness. You got to start working the ball a little bit more, knowing you've got 30 seconds on the shot clock.
Offensive foul here against Miami. Bailey Reed picks up her first. Redshirt senior out of Twinsburg, Ohio. She'll check out for Megan Duffy. Redhawks controlling the tempo through that first half, and so far doing it again to start the second.
Gotta attack. It's too much on the perimeter.
Waters does try and attack that baseline. Reach in called as Dickerson was beat.
It's a good foul by Lauren Dickerson because you saw she was beat by Maddie Waters, and where did that pass go? Right to Raina Frost. That was going to be an easy 2. You might be frustrated by that from a Red Hawk fan, but that's a good foul because you're denying 2 points right there.
Now only your second team foul of the half, so no damage done. Chippewas have to reset. You got to work that shot clock and try and get around this Miami defense.
There you go. Kick it back out. There's plenty of time. That's a good move by Smith.
Frost open for 3. Smith, an offensive rebound, and fouled underneath the basket.
So the shot doesn't go by Frost, but where's Jahari Smith? Right underneath for the offensive rebound. You get rewarded when you're working the ball around and you're playing within the offense. It may not end up in points on this trip for Central Michigan, but still, that's a better possession.
And that's the second on Kleesner. We'll see if that better possession leads to points. Nearly, but it crawls off from Hudson.
Redhawks, you really need to take advantage right now of some of these breaks, try and extend this lead while Central Michigan continues to struggle.
How about that move? Change of pace from Lauren Dickerson, who has 4. So slippery around the basket. Dickerson's been quiet, leads them with over 14 points per game. Largest lead for Miami, it's 9. And another miss from 3. Hudson shovels to Smith. Jahari Smith with the first 4 in this second half for CMU. Central Michigan averaging over 10 threes per game, 2 for 13 tonight. Touch pass, Kleesner fouled. Nearly got the and one as Maddie Waters picks up the personal. How about that touch pass, Matt? How beautiful was that? And Kleesner, so good moving and cutting to the basket.
Wow, great feed. And soft hands to kind of catch that. Great pass to hit her in stride, going to the basket like that. Here's the thing though, Adam. For as good as Miami is playing, for as poorly as Central Michigan has shot it from the outside, and the turnover problems that they had in the first half, it is a 7-point game. It just kind of goes to show you how good Central Michigan is, because even Miami is putting forth maybe one of their best efforts. It's still in single digits right now, and that's why I continue to harp on Miami needs to try and extend this lead. They need to try and build on this, because you have to think that the conference's best scoring offense is going to explode at some point, and you're just waiting for what that moment's going to be.
We'll see if they can start it on this possession. Waters for 3. Drops it through. Big shot for Central Michigan. Just their 3rd triple. It's a 5-point game.
It wouldn't take much to get this building going, because they've been waiting for about an hour to try and be loud about something.
Kleesner's been the answer to start this second half for Miami. They just took her out. We'll see where the Redhawks go offensively. Purvis driving on Hudson, and a bump called against the senior Presley Hudson. That's her 3rd.
It was going to be a foul or a travel on Purvis. And now you got to wonder if Presley Hudson can stay on the floor.
Gabby Bird checks in. It's the first time we've seen Bird tonight as the Chippewas bringing in only their 7th player. We've seen 1 sub. They ran 6 players in that first half. Much like we saw last year, they are run by their starters. Takeaway up ahead. Smith couldn't handle the hot pass from Waters. Back the other way we go. Purvis for 3. Snatched away by Frost. Tough pass, and a 2nd straight turnover for CMU. Bit of a force there from Waters.
Yeah, kind of a strange pass. Everyone just kind of had a perplexed look on their face when she threw it, because Miami's defense is collapsing under the hoop.
That's what this defense can do. They can frustrate you, force you into some of those miscues. And we've seen them. Another beautiful touch pass from McCoy. 2nd basket for Kristen Levering. And a timeout taken by Sue Guevara. This upset starting to become a reality. 4:40 to play in the 3rd quarter. Miami still in control, in front by 7. 4:40 to play in this third quarter. Miami shocking Central Michigan at the moment, 46-39. Chippewas led 3-0. It has been all Miami since. Built the lead as large as 9, and it's currently a 7-point advantage out of the Sugavara timeout. What does Central Michigan go to offensively? The leading scorer, Presley Hudson, on the bench and been held to just 4 points. Gonna have to look elsewhere. Step back three, Kelly. Tough shot. Huge offensive rebound by the freshman Jahari Smith. To a cutting Kelly. Frost puts it back in. First 2 points of this second half for Raina Frost, now with 16. 7 rebounds to go along with it. Purvis steps into a long 2. Rolls off to Frost. Frost grabbed on the arm by Hoff, second on the junior. And that's the 4th on Miami, so the Chippewas in the bonus the rest of the way. And that'll get us to the media timeout. So the Chippewas get a bucket, are within 5. They'll have the basketball when we come back to McGurk Arena. There's some members of the Central Michigan men's basketball team. A big win last night on the road against undefeated Northern Illinois. 3-0 in the MAC, and the Chippewas went into DeKalb, won 78-69. Let's start to finish. They're off to a good start this season. Have a big one on Saturday against Ball State. Trying to cheer on the women's team. The Chippewas in front by 5. Another turnover for CMU, forced by the Redhawks. That's the 10th turnover for CMU.
10 turnovers, only 8 assists on 18 made field goals. Those are not numbers that are going to equate to a victory. Again, we keep saying it, but the best defensive program in the Mid-American Conference on the women's side, and it is Miami who has dominated at that end of the floor tonight, making life extremely difficult. Probably the most struggles this group has gone through so far in this 18-19 season, I would say.
Kendall McCoy, the best percentage three-point shooter at 45%. Perfect tonight until that miss. Keeps the game at 5. Again, Presley Hudson right now on the bench with 3 fouls. Sugavara electing to keep her out. So CMU needing someone to step up. Frost flashes. Too strong. Rebound. Wow. Kelly swipes in and grabs it. Fresh 30. Settling for a lot of jumpers. You mentioned it, not seeing a ton of attacks, Matt.
Got to try and go to the basket.
Ten on the shot clock. See if Kelly wants to attack. She has it ripped away. This defense suffocating for the Red Hawks. That hits the rim, but Miami, a great defensive stand.
This is incredible what they've been able to do. I mean, 41 points into the third quarter, and again, Savannah Kleesner is on fire tonight and cannot be stopped.
Kleesner now with 18, make it 17 rather, and a foul on Jahari Smith. And the lead is back to 7, and Coach Guevara going to install Presley Hudson back into the game. The bigs have been fantastic for Miami. 17 for Kleesner, 14 for McCoy. Junior and senior, a couple of returning starters. And they have led the way for the Red Hawks when their leading scorer, Lauren Dickerson, has been held to just 4 points.
Kleesner 7 of 10 from the floor and 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Player of the game right now.
She has been fun to watch. Great touch around the rim. Kira Bussell has come back in. Frost the jumper. That rolls through.
That's some good execution. I thought McKenna Kelly maybe passed up an open 3 at the top of the key. She fed down low to Bussell, but they love to run that entry down low, and on the backside, Frost is popping out to the free throw line.
And Miami has held Central Michigan just 3 for 17 from beyond the arc. A team that's averaging double figures in makes in that department. Red Hawks defense so impressive. Purvis, the reverse, it falls through. We go back the other way. That was Bailey Reed. Apologies. She got that basket, her first 2 points of the night. Dickerson crafty around the top of the circle, dishes it off. McCoy. That would have been a huge shot to go into a double-digit lead. Under a minute to play, third quarter. Waters shovels to Bussell. Good look, off glass. And a timeout taken by Megan Duffy. Again, the Red Hawks, anytime there's been a little bit of momentum in a very quiet building, which is unusual for McGurk Arena, they've had the answer. Like that timeout from Megan Duffy, sensing the Chippewas maybe getting some late momentum. Said, now let's take a timeout, think about it, get a good offensive set here, try and run down this third quarter. Take a look at the mid-major rankings on the collegeinsider.com poll. Central Michigan has moved up to 4. They were at 6, but they took down undefeated Ohio in Athens last week. This coming off a great road trip. CMU had to go to Ohio, to NIU. They've won both those games in all 3 of their conference games by 18 or more points. And here they are. They haven't been able to stay with Miami. Only lead a 3-0 advantage after a Kelly 3. It's been all Red Hawks controlling the tempo since.
Yeah, and that's why that McCoy shot would have been absolutely huge. It would have been the biggest lead of the game for Miami to make it double digits. They've hovered around that 9-point advantage, and right now going to try and run something out of the timeout. Some movement, high ball screen coming to the top.
5 on the shot clock. They go to Kleesner. Good pump fake, gets around Frost, rolls off. Here comes Frost to Hudson. Chippewas can get this to potentially a 1-possession game with a 3. Hudson sidesteps at a travel. Presley Hudson has turned it over 6 times, has just 4 points. And that 3 obviously won't count in the field goal department because she traveled first, but she's 0 for 4 from the outside. Under 2 seconds. Dickerson just going to hold on to it, not going to force anything. But a 6-point lead. Megan Duffy charging onto the court, pumped up about her team's play through 30 minutes. An upset in the making in Mount Pleasant. The Redhawks in front, 51-45 as we head to the fourth. Take a look at the MAC West standings. Central Michigan up at the top, one of the 2 remaining undefeated teams in conference. Chippewas, the defending MAC champs, 3-0 at the top. Toledo, Eastern, Northern, Western, and Ball State, all 1-2. And you flip it over to the east side where Miami trying to climb back up the standings, 1-2. Kent State taking on Ohio on the road tonight. The Golden Flashes undefeated. Chippewas will see them on Saturday. Strap in, here we go, fourth quarter. Miami trying to hold on and give the Chippewas their first loss in conference play. Got to go all the way back to last year in their last regular season loss. CMU 17-1 a season ago. Last loss was at Buffalo. Presley Hudson, 5 on the clock. Misses the bunny, rebound to Frost. Drive, nice pass, Raina Frost, that climbs off. Chippewas shooting around 40% from the floor. They're up around 50 on the season. Both averages, 3-point wise and inside the arc, down tonight against this difficult Miami D. Nice entry pass, tough try for Kleesner. Waters takes it to the hole, a lot of contact. Rebound to Bustle, and the foul called, I believe, on the floor. And they'll get it on Miami, so keep it with Central Michigan. Bailey Reed picks up her second.
Miami has just put on a clinic defensively. I mean, you're starting to try and run out of options offensively. At some point, you need to make shots. And I think Central Michigan has done a good job of moving the ball around and at times penetrating inside. They've settled for jump shots a little bit, but when they have gotten open looks, the shots have gone begging. So at some point, you really just kind of have to look in the mirror and say, we got to knock down some shots, otherwise we're going to end up on the losing end here.
Yeah, 3 for 18 from the outside. There is one of those shots from guess who? Raina Frost now with 21, keeping CMU in it. It's a 3-point game.
Well, it gives you an idea of what kind of a game this is. It's a 3-point game right now.
This is the first time we've heard this Mount Pleasant crowd tonight. Miami has had the answer all night long. Can they get it again? Kleesner off, misses the rim. Shot clock reset. Ball is loose. I don't think that ball ever hit the rim. It'll go off Miami anyway. Back to CMU. And they automatically reset the shot clock. It hit the backboard, but I didn't see that touch the rim.
Yeah, that was a close call, and you know, tough view here courtside, but it didn't look like it hit the rim. It might have grazed it on the side. But with the shot clock winding down and a loose ball right there in the corner, bodies diving on the floor, they can sense how big this moment is, and we've touched on it a little bit. The crowd hasn't had a lot to get excited about. If the Chippewas can knock down a shot and pull within 1 or tie it, this place would get really loud.
We just got one from Frost. Again, if you're just joining us, Hudson has been real quiet. 4 points, 6 assists, and another turnover for Central Michigan. That's their 12th. Sugavara is extremely frustrated on the sideline.
I just don't understand that pass right there. Frost is streaking towards the near block. She's fronted by a defender. Give it to one of your guards at the top of the key.
Again, this crowd trying to help out the Chippewas. Dickerson. Miami being patient, running their offense. Purvis knocks over Waters and gets it to go.
A big shot under pressure. Maddie Waters stumbles and Purvis knocks it down calmly.
Bussell tries the 8-footer. Rebound, last touch by Kleesner. It'll stay with Central Michigan. Again, those little jumpers just aren't falling for CMU. You can see Megan Duffy going, what? How's that their ball? And a foul called. Big collision in the lane. And that's going to go against Kendall McCoy, her second. The other thing, Matt, this Chippewa team really good at the free throw line on the season. Just 2 free throw attempts tonight.
And only 2 team fouls right now on Miami in this 4th quarter. Still a ways to go before they get into the bonus.
Again, we haven't seen the Chippewas drive a lot or get to the bucket. They've taken a lot of jumpers and threes that just haven't fallen. There's an attack, rebound, up and one. Huge shot for Kira Bussell, the sophomore, to the line for a chance at 3.
At least 60-65% of shots fall off to the weak side. Kira Bussell crashes the weak side glass, gets good position, goes right back up with it, doesn't pull the ball back down, gets it high, goes right back up with it off the glass, and a chance to tie it.
She knocks down the free throw. It's a 2-point game. 53-51, and a foul called on Michaela Kelly quickly. Second on Kelly. That foul in the meantime was on Savannah Kleesner. It's her 3rd. She's the first Red Hawk with 3 fouls. And again, the crowd will come up onto its feet, willing the Chippewas to get a stop. 7 minutes to go. Huge shot from Purvis. Quiets the crowd. 5-point game. Chippewas being tested here with their half-court offense. The floater, Hudson, is just off tonight. Now 2 for 11 from the floor. Presley Hudson's been held to single figures once. It was in that low-scoring loss to Tulane earlier this season, where Central Michigan was held to a season-low 57 points on the game. A lot of contacts. Dickerson gets it to go. Could have maybe been a foul as well.
Great job penetrating inside. You see head coach Megan Duffy. She's loving the effort from her group. on the road.
Frost nowhere to go, throws it up anyway. Great defense by Kleesner, tracks it down and forces the ball out of bounds. And Miami is in complete control with 5:50 to go. Remember last year, they were so close to upsetting the Chippewas, the #1 seed in the tournament. They fell short by 3. Chippewas have won 9 straight against Miami, but in trouble right now. Purvis has been huge. 11 points tonight with a few threes. Dickerson some timely buckets even though she's been held quiet. Here's a turnover. Wheeled out in front. Kelly all alone. Easy 2.
And for CMU, that maybe is where it needs to start. They got to get some easy buckets in transition, and that's going to start defensively, trying to get some stops.
Kleesner trying to get around Bustle. Knocked away by Frost. Back-to-back turnovers. Kelly one-on-one, or rather Hudson one-on-one. Spins it up, it comes off. Offensive rebound.
How about the defense from Purvis in transition to slow down Presley Hudson and deny a possession? Great play.
Bustle hammered up for 2. And that's the 4th on Savannah Kleesner. A big call. The junior with 18 points will have to be careful. 4:45 to play. Miami trying to hang on and upset Central Michigan. Come on back with us for the final 5 minutes.
It's crazy.
Back in Mount Pleasant, a stunner so far. Miami in front of Central Michigan, 58-53. The Chippewas to pick to win the regular season and conference tournament once again after they won it the last 2 years. The regular season, won the tournament last year, got to the Sweet 16. Miami has controlled and led since the Chippewas were in front 3-0. That's the last time Central Michigan had the lead. They're trying to fight their way back, but Miami has been so stingy defensively tonight, Matt.
They've been excellent Got to try and take advantage, especially when you're trailing at the free throw line, but got to hang on for another 4.5 if you're the Red Hawks to get the biggest win in conference play so far this season.
No doubt, this would be the best by any team, and it would open a lot of eyes around the Mid-American Conference. If the Red Hawks can come in here and pick up their second win and upset CMU. 5 on the clock. McCoy down to Levering. Good look. Missed it. Rebound comes down to Kelly. Trying to push the tempo. Nearly lost it and surrounded by Red Hawks. Hudson flying over to Bustle.
Presence of mind to dish it weak side. Double team crashes on Presley Hudson. Kira Bustle's waiting.
Chippewas finding some life. They're on a 5-0 run. It's a 2-point game with 3:57 to play, and Kira Bustle has come alive, now 10 points. She had the and one earlier, and she comes up with another basket. 3:57 to play, 58-56. Matt, the last time Central Michigan lost a home game in the Mid-American Conference, you have to go back 3 seasons. The 2015-16 season, Toledo came in here under Tricia Cullip, won in overtime, 81-79. CMU just does not lose in this building when they get into conference play.
They're so good, and that's why you've seen records of 14-4, 15-3, and then last year, 17-1. You win 30 games and make it to the Sweet 16. That is something that not many teams across the country can say, let alone in the Mid-American Conference. And yet Miami's got them on the ropes.
Trying to end a 5-0 drought, the Red Hawks get this back to a 2-possession lead with a bucket. 3 is good, and the foul from Presley Hudson. Dickerson with her first 3 of the night, and what a time to get it.
Wow, an aggressive closeout on Presley Hudson. See that? Little contact on the release. A little shimmy at the end. That's confidence right there. That's a huge shot.
So she'll have a chance for a 4-point play. And they're going to go over and check it. That's the 4th on Presley Hudson, and they're going to take a look to see if her foot was on the line, whether it was a 3 or a 2. That's clearly a 3, yeah. No question about it. Both feet set behind the line. Lauren Dickerson, 9 points. First team All-MAC selection last year. She came into this game 5 for her last 35 from the outside, and she was 0 for 4 tonight from deep, but she knocks down a big one. Her 30th triple of the year. Shooting under 30% from the outside, but a timely shot. Again, Matt, we've mentioned it. Miami has had the answer all night when Central Michigan has tried to make a run.
It's been the type of game where Central Michigan hasn't had a whole lot of answers, and you've seen the Red Hawks bring all the energy. They've been the ones that have been engaged, and they're winning 50-50 balls. They're winning the hustle plays. And the officials confirm it's a 3-point play, or 3-point bucket. And this could be a huge, huge free throw.
Could get it up to 6 with under 4 minutes to play. As Megan Duffy staring in the face of her biggest win of her young coaching career. Free throw up and good, 4-point play completed. Dickerson now with 10. 6-point lead. And a near turnover. Good pressure defense by the freshman Kennedy Taylor. It's a Miami team, too, that's lost one of their incoming freshmen they really were excited about, Nia Clark. She's averaging 10 points per game. She went down with an ACL tear. Still competing, trying to pick up a huge win on the road in Mount Pleasant. I don't think anybody expected this except for the Red Hawks themselves. Kira Bustle continues her scoring in this 4th quarter now with 12. Again, the fans trying to urge a stop from the Chippewas. Getting down to crunch time in Mount Pleasant. Redhawks will run their offense, wheel that clock down, make you defend for 30 seconds. McCoy straight away, you bet. Back-to-back threes for the Redhawks just when you thought Central Michigan was getting close. It's a 7-point Miami lead. Foul out front on Kendall McCoy, her third.
How about McCoy, though? 5 threes tonight, and it feels like every single three she's sent home has been a big-time shot. I mean, it's been Kleesner who's been cleaning up underneath, but McCoy has been knocking them down from the outside.
Those are the first 3 points in this second half for Kendall McCoy. She had 14 at the break. What a big time to get her next three-pointer. Presley Hudson just getting her first point of the second half. That may be the more telling story. 5 points is all tonight for Hudson, who averages over 21 per game.
It's the points, Adam, but it's also the 6 turnovers. That ties a season high for Presley Hudson tonight. She hasn't done a great job taking care of the basketball, and that's probably gotten into her head a little bit.
And that's part of that stifling defense. They've been all over her. 2:30 to play. Miami getting closer. Still need some shots to fall and have to take care of the ball. There's the turnover. Chippewas needed it, they get it.
And they had the switch. Michaela Kelly was defending Kleesner down low.
Kelly pulls for 3. It's a 2-point game. And again, this crowd will rise to their feet. Just the 4th triple for CMU tonight. 2 minutes to go. Five on the clock. Purvis, the floater, drops it in.
That's huge. I mean, knowing that if you get too close to the rim, there's going to be contact and there's going to be a defender there, so a nice little 8-foot floater.
This is where the 4 seniors come in handy. Hudson wheels down and lays it through. 67-65. Again, Miami's going to run this clock down. Ton of senior leadership on the floor, and a junior Dickerson who's their leading scorer. We'll see where they go to. Kleesner, double teamed, and a steal from Frost. Oh, yeah. A minute to play, and the Chippewas can tie or take the lead.
1 minute remaining. 1 minute.
Hudson knocks it down from the elbow. 10 points for Hudson. We are tied at 67. That's our first tie of the night, and we get it with 55 seconds left.
I tell you, watching it in this second half, I didn't know if this moment was ever going to come. Nice move by Presley Hudson to get around Kleesner there. Okay, I don't know if that was a foul. Could have been an offensive foul, a little bit of contact. Maybe you've got the Miami defender falling back a little bit, trying to emphasize it. It's a 50-50 call, but Presley Hudson makes a play. When her name is called, she makes a play when her team needs her most.
Yeah, didn't see if Megan Duffy was upset with the no call. That also would have been the 5th on Hudson if they would have blown the whistle. 55 seconds to go. Just again, if you're joining us, Central Michigan took a 3-0 lead on a Michaela Kelly 3. Since then, Miami has led throughout. And again, as we just mentioned, 67-67 is our first tie of the game, and it comes with 55 seconds to go. We'll see how the Redhawks respond as the Chippewas have started to heat up offensively. Really, for the first time consistently tonight, Matt, they've started to get bucket after bucket, but it took this long to get them going.
Miami had done a job for 38 minutes, and it doesn't mean it's over. I mean, it's only a tie game, and they've got possession right now. Just continue to do what you've done. You've gone down low to Savannah Kleesner. Kendall McCoy has done a good job, off ball screens. But Purvis has been a great off-the-bounce player, an option for them tonight. I'd look to maybe see her get the ball in her hands.
Yeah, they've had a couple of turnovers on their last couple of possessions outside of that Purvis floater. They're going to run this down again and look to get a look. Dickerson with 10 points. Coach Duffy saying, hold on, now let's go. Out of the timeout. Dickerson, 6 on the clock. Purvis for the lead. Too strong, rebound tapped around. Last touch by the freshman Taylor. CMU ball. 26 seconds left. Central Michigan can hold for the final shot. And I think they're going to go to the monitor here just to be sure, make sure they called it correctly. It looked like it was off Miami last, though. We'll take another look.
It's a good look right here from Purvis. Presley Hudson's trying to close out.
Dead
and
on,
then
just a little bit too long.
We've got a scrum here off the leg. That's a clear. They just showed the replay here in the arena as well. That's clearly off Kennedy Taylor. Right there, right off the right leg. Clear as day. It's going to be Central Michigan ball. Shot clock's going to be off, Adam. You've got time to run it down for one shot.
Central Michigan's last lead, 9:17 to go in the opening quarter.
So, who do you go to?
Hudson.
Really? I mean, just gets her 10th point of the night, and she has struggled all night. She's been hampered by turnovers all evening, but I suppose with it being your senior leader and your best ball handler, you maybe go to her. Michaela Kelly hits a big 3 though here. I mean, I think you maybe trust Presley Hudson to make the decision whether she can shoot it or if one of her teammates is open.
Well, Presley Hudson, the best player to come through Central Michigan women's basketball's program. He's got the last 4, a layup, and then that step back jumper. She's struggled tonight, but come on late. She's been huge in clutch situations. Sue Guevara's rode her for 4 years. I think you keep the ball in the hands of your senior, maybe work a pick and roll potentially with Raina Frost, who's also had a huge game. Frost, another big night, 21 points, 13 rebounds.
But I think you have someone like Michaela Kelly who's waiting in the corner. You have options, and depending on who's on the floor, you're probably going to be having Raina Frost with a high ball screen, and maybe she's going to be popping back out onto the free throw line. You're going to have multiple actions, but you're not going to see anything happen until at least under 10 on the game clock. Want to try and make it the last shot of the game.
And the Chippewas, again, get the advance up to the front court because of the timeout. Central Michigan trying to win this one and take their first lead since the first minute of the game. We'll see what they run. Coach Guevara, the veteran, can she draw up something to give the Chippewas a comeback victory? All in the hands of Hudson. Now Sue Guevara telling her point guard, wait. And now she says go. Hudson, again, the elbow jumper. Off to the left, rebound comes down, and a quick timeout taken by Duffy. 5 seconds to go, and now it's Miami with the opportunity.
And you saw, after that timeout was called, you saw Sue Guevara say, that's okay. You know, she said that, you know, that's the shot that we were okay with that, drawing it up. And now, after everything that's happened and Central Michigan fighting their way back to tie this game, Miami has played maybe their best game of the season to be in a position right now to win it. Under 10 seconds left. And now, after everything, you still got a chance with 5.3 to go to try and get the biggest win in conference play in the Mid-American Conference so far this season.
And no doubt the biggest win for Megan Duffy in her young coaching career. Just her 2nd season as a head coach. Spent some time at the University of Michigan, George Washington, and St. John's as an assistant. Took over this job last year. All she did was win 21 games, have the biggest turnaround in NCAA women's basketball last season. Knocked out 3-point loss to this Central Michigan team in the MAC semifinals. Can they get some payback? And remember, the Chippewas have won 9 straight in this series. And more importantly, and even more impressive, you have to go back 3 years. The last time the Chippewas lost a home conference game, Toledo knocked them off in overtime. You may have overtime here tonight. 5 seconds though first for the Red Hawks to try and win it. We'll see where they go offensively. The two inside, Kleesner and McCoy, have been their best two with 17 and 18 apiece. Here we go. Off to inbound. They go to McCoy, right around Bustle, and it drops through and a foul. 2.7 to go, and it's Kendall McCoy, the senior, that puts the Red Hawks back in front. It's actually Kleesner.
Great play, flashes right there. Hard drive to the bucket. Kira Bustle cannot stay in front of her. And Savannah Kleesner has done it all night for this Red Hawk team, and now a chance to make it a three-point game.
McCoy, the decoy up top. They go to Kleesner, and she completes the three-point play. How about that from second-year head coach Megan Duffy? They got it right where they wanted it, and the junior has given them a three-point lead, 2.5 to 2.7 to go, and it's got to be a quick three here.
You could see what Sue Guevara was saying. You see at the bottom of your screen, 3 team fouls. A foul would have given them 4. It wouldn't have been in the bonus yet, so she wanted Kira Bustle to foul immediately as soon as the ball was inbounded to try and extend this game a little bit longer and force them to go through another inbounds play. You just see a breakdown defensively, just a flash, and Savannah Kleesner broke to the bucket, and then you could see Michaela Kelly trying to come over the top. And there was a foul at the end. I mean, that's just a great play, presence of mind from a veteran, a junior, to just drive to the bucket like that, take advantage of a small misstep, and now Central Michigan gonna have to come up with a rabbit out of a hat right now to force overtime.
This crowd is stunned, and the Red Hawks just over 2 seconds away from pulling off a major upset that would rock the Mid-American Conference here in mid-January. Miami coming off a tough loss against Buffalo, the powerhouse over in the East, trying to get some payback and give Central Michigan their first loss as they stand atop the West standings. Chippewa's got to go quickly. We'll see if they get it to Hudson, the all-time three-point leader in the Mid-American Conference. Instead, they go cross-court, Raina Frost. They do get it to Hudson. Gets it up, it's off, and this game is over. Miami gets a huge win under second-year head coach Megan Duffy, and she gives the Chippewas their first loss of the season and their first loss in conference play at home since 2016.
21 games in a row in the Mid-American Conference for the Central Michigan program, and they were 21-0 until now. What a moment for Megan Duffy in this program. And if you weren't sure about the Red Hawks right now sitting towards the bottom of the standings in the East, don't doubt them any longer. This is a season-defining win for them, especially in the conference.
A monstrous win for the Red Hawks. They are fired up as they should be. Miami now 11-4 and 2-2 in the MAC, but they come into Mount Pleasant and shock the defending two-time regular season MAC champs and the squad that went all the way to the Sweet 16 last year. Chippewa's 4-game winning streak is snapped. Central Michigan now 12-4 on the season and 3-1 in the conference. Again, the Red Hawks improved to 2-2 in the MAC. Well, that's going to wrap up our broadcast. Thanks so much for joining us tonight from McGurk Arena. For our entire crew, another terrific job tonight. My partner, Matt DeVries. Adam Jackson is saying good night from Mount Pleasant. And just a reminder, all games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live on the ESPN app, or to watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.